Ooga, fucking Ooga, cunts. It's Schmeckle. But you knew that. You clicked a fucking link that says Schmeckle. You guys are fucking clever, you know that? Gold stars for all of ya. Cunts. So how many of you dipshits are fat? I bet there's at least a few of you fuckers who struggle with short staircases and human-sized doors. Do you feel oppressed by the thin world that we live in? Do you cry enormous, disgusting, salty whale tears on the daily because society doesn't understand that you're beautiful? Yeah, that's right, cunts. This one's about fucking fat acceptance. Roll the fucking intro. So fat acceptance is a topic that ranges from the very basic and reasonable, don't be a dick to people just because they're fat, to the much less reasonable, if you won't fuck a girl because she's fat, you're a fat-phobic bigot and also a racist, plus you probably fuck dogs and oh god, I need a safe space. As a side note, I'd like to congratulate my laptop on underlining fatphobic with a red squiggly line. You know, because it's not a fucking word. Now when it comes to fat people, I feel the same way as the majority of people. Which is to say, I don't find them attractive. At all. And it's not because I hate fat people. That's entirely unrelated. It's because I have these things called preferences, like everybody else in the fucking world. See, I was reading a dictionary a little while ago, and it turns out that you can have preferences that don't have to do with fucking pronouns. For example, some men like a nice juicy ass, while some couldn't care less about the ass if the chick's got a good pair of chest lumps going for her. Some men don't like a big ass at all and would prefer a small one. You see where I'm going with this, right? No fucking morons. Some men like to fuck fat cunts and some don't. Most don't. And why is that? Because the patriarchy runs the media and the media says that fat is ugly? Seriously? You should take a feminist studies class? Actually, cunt, that's entirely fucking wrong. But my patriarchy? Fuck off now. The media has definitely played a part in what we see as beautiful. But fat acceptance advocates tend to overestimate the power of the media in the same way that feminists do, which makes sense since the two movements have a large overlap. Just like we haven't all been brainwashed to think of women as sex objects, we haven't been brainwashed to see fat people as disgusting semi-human creatures. And I can almost understand your line of thinking. The media mainly portrays thin, attractive people. Everybody to some degree is exposed to media, therefore media done did it. But have you considered the opposite? The media has an audience to cater to, and while sure, over time they can certainly sway the opinions of the unwashed masses, the idea of thin as beautiful can't have just come from the media. It had to have had a root elsewhere, otherwise, who the fuck were they catering to? And yes, the thin people in the media today are thinner than the thin people 20 years ago, and the fat people are fatter too. This is for a few reasons. For one, there are more people to the extreme of either side than there were due to issues that have become more prominent like the obesity epidemic and eating disorders. Obviously, that's going to lead to more exposure on the extreme ends because there are more people available, and people fucking like extremes. For another, we have a better understanding of biology, diet, exercise, etc. to help wealthy celebrities to get into peak shape, and we have more and more fast food outlets and Netflix to help people live out their dream of being a human bouncy castle. But why don't we find fat people attractive? I can't speak for anybody else, but for me it's a mixture of the implied inactivity or bad health, and the fact that it just plain doesn't look good to me. There's not really much more that I can say there. It's a fucking preference. They just aren't for me, and they aren't for a lot of people. I could go on about how the fat acceptance movement is harmful because it promotes obesity as being just another life choice rather than a dangerous unhealthy condition, but I'm sure you're all smart enough to know that being obese is unhealthy. If you aren't, there are plenty of people who've covered the topic extensively, but I really hope you're smart enough. Fuck. Probably not. I'll link something in the description or something. Fuck! But do keep in mind that none of this is any reason to be a dick to fat people on a personal basis. I know I've made some jokes at their expense, but if you go around with the goal of hurting people, you're generally a cunt. And not like a cunt, but like a cunt. Hate the movement, not the people. Unless they're cunts. Then fuck 'em. I think I'm gonna leave that one here. I hope you fucking liked it, but even if you didn't, do me a favor and like and subscribe. Come on, don't be a cunt. As always, send some of your love and your money to Peach Bailey, she'll be linked below. Thanks again to the Gentle Raven for doing the artwork for my channel, including our new SJW friend. Go check out Satsu 2 Cents, Blair White, suit yourself, and run and guns if you're bored of watching and rewatching my videos with the sound off, if you know what I mean. That's it. Now fuck off!